पद्मावती। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहार विजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहार विजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरावनचारि यमुनातीरावनचारि। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी विजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरावनचारि यमुनातीरावनचारि। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपद 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 जय प्रभुपद। जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ स्तुतिचैतन्यात्मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। सप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्ग्रये नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायिते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरतिसे नमः नमो ब्राह्मण्याय देवाय गोब्राह्मणहिताय च जगद्दिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे भूतं करोति वाचालं पंगं लंघयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणं श्री परमानंद माधव श्री ईश्वर ओम अपवित्रो पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थं गतोऽपि वा यस्मरेत् पुनरीकाक्षा सा बाह्यभ्यन्तरं विष्णु श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु हरे कृष्ण थैंक यू वेलकम आई वेलकम टू welcome all of you for this Sunday Srimad Bhagavatam reading sessions. So today we are going to read here the screen. So we are going to read from the 10th canto, 5th chapter, the meeting of the Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva. As all you are aware that this 10th canto is a summon bonum of entire Bhagavatam. It's a face of the Lord Sri Krishna. So it is said that we all have to take darshan of the lotus feet of Lord first at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So gradually grow up to the lotus face of Sri Krishna. I do not have any qualification to see Lord face to face. Really, our qualification is at the lotus feet of the Lord Sri Hari. With this, if there is anything mistake I am committing, it's because of purely of my ego that I think that I know everything. But in fact, it's not the case. Please forgive me if it is like that. Anything which you have taken good is because of the entire parampara and the Krishna who is guiding through these sessions. Hare Krishna. Let me pray that I act as an instrument in the hands of the Guru Parampara and Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak something about Srimad, to read some Srimad Bhagavatam. Forget about speaking. Even reading is the greatest opportunity that we have. So thank you all for giving me this opportunity to serve all of you by reading Srimad Bhagavatam. So without any delay, so we'll read the first text, two texts. So there are not many purpose in this 15 slokas. Only few purpose are there. We see what are there. Text 1 and 2. श्रीशुकमुवाच नन्दस्त्वम् आत्मज उत्पन्ने जातः ददो महामना आहूय विप्रान् वेदज्ञान स्नातः शुचिरलङ्कृता वाचयित्वा स्वस्त्यायनं जातकर्म तस्य वै कार्यम् आसविदेव पितृदेवार्चनं तथा. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sukadeva Goswami said, Nanda Maharaj was naturally very magnanimous, and when Lord Sri Krishna appeared as his son, he was overwhelmed by jubilation. Therefore, After bathing and purifying himself and dressing himself properly, he invited Brahmanas who knew how to recite Vedic Brahmantras. After having these qualified Brahmanas recite auspicious Vedic hymns, he arranged to have the Vedic birth ceremony celebrated for his newborn child, according to the rules and regulations. And he also arranged for worship of the demigods and for purpose. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura has discussed the significance of the word Nandastu. The word tu, he says, is not used to fulfill the sentence because without tu, the sentence is complete. Therefore, the word tu is used for a different purpose. Although Krishna appeared as a son of Devaki, Devaki and Vasudeva did not enjoy the Jatakarma, the festival of birth ceremony. Instead, the ceremony was enjoyed by Nanda Maharaj as stated here. Nandastva Atmajam Utpanne Jatahalado Mahamanaha. When Nanda Maharaj met Vasudeva, Vasudeva could not disclose. Your son Krishna is actually my son. You are his father in a different way, spiritually. Because of fear of Kamsa, Vasudeva could not observe the festival for Krishna's birth. Nanda Maharaj, however, took full advantage of this opportunity. The Jatakarma ceremony can take place when the umbilical cord connecting the child and the placenta is cut. However, since Krishna was brought by the Vasudeva to the house of Nanda Maharaj, where was a chance for this to happen? In this regard, Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura desires to prove with evidence from many Shastras that Krishna actually took birth as a son of Yashoda before the birth of Yogamaya, who is therefore described as a Lord's angel. Even though there may be doubts about the cutting of the umbilical cord, and even though it is possible that this was not done when the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears, such events are regarded as factual. Krishna appeared as Varahadeva from the nostril of Brahma, and therefore Brahma is described as the father of Varahadeva. Also significant are the words Karyam Asa Vidivat. Being overwhelmed with jubilation over the birth of his son, Nanda Maharaj did not see whether the cord was cut or not. Thus he performed the ceremony very consciously. According to the opinion of some authorities, Krishna was actually born as a son of Yashoda. In any case, without regard for material understanding, we can accept that Nanda Maharaj's celebration for a ceremony of Krishna's birth was proper. This ceremony is therefore well known everywhere as Nandotsava. Nandotsava Mahotsava ki. So earlier, let us make a small recap. You all know all these things. So in the few classes ago, we have seen how Krishna has appeared. The Krishna Janmashtami has happened. Krishna is born in the cell of where Devaki and Vasudeva were residing. Later Vasudeva transferred Krishna to the place of Nanda Maharaj. So naturally, if you see Krishna in a technical sense, in a materialistic sense, you should understand that Krishna is a foster son of Nanda Maharaj. So actually, the son is born out of the union of out of parents, out of mother and father. So this is how the biological son is born in a maternity ward. This is what we all see. So and actually he should be the foster son of Nanda Maharaj and the dear darling son of Devaki Vasudeva. So after this what has happened? The child of Yashoda and Nanda, a girl child of which is nothing but the Durga Devi, was transferred to the Mathura. Later, all the gods inform about the birth of this eighth child and inform him of the warning which he has heard. The eighth child will be the cause of his destruction. But what happens in the fourth chapter we have seen the first 13 slokas we have seen the goddess Durga's caution to Kamsa. So when he was able to kill that girl child, it transforms into the goddess Durga, and it wants that it wants the one who is going to kill you is born elsewhere in this world, elsewhere. So I am not the one you are looking into. Then Kamsa regretfully talks with Devaki and Vasudeva. So we have seen all those things where Kamsa considers himself demoniac, regards for killing Devaki's children. He talks about karma, the eternal nature of this jiva, the temporary nature of the material body and body relationships, and finally begs forgiveness. So we see entire Bhagavad Gita, understanding of Bhagavad Gita is being spoken by was Kamsa himself. So what is the difference between the demonic people and the devotees is, though they all know the karma philosophy, everything, but they do not know one thing. Divera Sarupahai is one, they understand. See, Kamsa also told the same thing. We are all souls. We are eternal. All the philosophy is spoken by the Kamsa. So, understanding that we are the soul is not the only goal of the life. We have to understand the second part of the life, which is Nityera Krishna Das. We are all eternally the servants of the Krishna. This is the difference between the demons and the demonic people and the devotees. So we are all the devotees and the das of the Krishna. So Devaki and Vasudeva forgives Kamsa. This is the nature of a devotee. They are ready to forgive the people. Later we have seen Kamsa talks with the demonic associates. The Asuras praise Kamsa and advise him to destroy Vedic culture and kill the babies born within 10 days. So this is the power of association. When we are in bad association, people reveal the bad things out of you. Why we should avoid bad association is because of this. Kamsa is already regretted. He has almost accepted his fate, sought forgiveness, and he was able to lead his life till the day comes. But because of the bad association, the bad qualities of Kamsa were triggered again. And they started advising him to kill all the people, all the children who are born within the 10 days span time, so that Kamsa can be saved. So this is what happens without a bad association. That's why we should avoid them. We are all conditioned soul. Somewhere or the other, we are governed by Rajoguna, Tamoguna, and Sattva. At least we should be in the Sattva Guna to understand the nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The difficulty of Rajoguna is one day you can slip into the Tamoguna. So Rajoguna is favorable to go back into the Tamoguna. That's why when we associate with the people who are Tamoguni, we tend to become maniac. So we should avoid association. Then Sukadeva Goswami speaks about later how Nanda Maharaj, after this, Nanda Maharaj wanted to celebrate Nandotsav, the birth of the child. So we generally we see the parents when they deliver a baby, the next day, almost maybe a next day or so, they start enjoying. It's a very good feeling that one becomes a parent, right? So we all do that. So we all celebrate, not in the way like this thing, but we see 1 month photography, 2 month photography, 3 months photography. We all see, right? My parents celebrate all these things. So similarly, Nanda Maharaj wanted to celebrate the birth of his child, darling Krishna. So what did he do? So he bathed and purified himself. So whatever it may be, so when sometimes it is said in the olden tradition, it is said when the child is born, we are contaminated. So that's why we have to purify ourselves. So physical purification is also required through bathing and dressing properly with a good dress, a good neat dress. Right. Then what he did, he invited Brahmanas who knew how to recite the Vedic mantras. He let them recite the mantras. So it's a good practice. So whenever we do auspicious programs in our societies, in our houses, like when we do birthday celebrations, when we do Satyanarayana Rathas, all those things, it is also a good practice to bring Brahmanas who can recite Veda mantras. There are people who can recite the Veda mantras. They do it for around maybe half an hour, 45 minutes. It's a good thing so that everyone understands the importance of the Vedas. So it is not that Krishna has said in the Bhagavad Gita, Nistraygunya Vishya Veda. So, Arjuna, you have to go beyond the three gunas. Don't be attached to the flowery languages of the Vedas. It doesn't mean that we have to reject Vedas. It is not the right mode. So we are also preaching in our societies. You have to be a representative of Nanda Maharaj, how to preach. So we have to conduct Veda mantras, Veda Brahmanas. And most importantly, the important Veda mantra is actually the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Is not different from the Veda mantra. It is said in the Kali Sanatana Upanishad. Upanishads are also a part of the Veda mantras. So Hare Krishna mantra is also done. Hare Krishna mantra is also equivalent to Om. This said in the Bhagavad Gita. Om and Hare Krishna Maha Mantra are equally potent. But one is a personalistic, we are personalistic. And we follow the Guru Parampara system where our Param Guru Brahma is asking us to chant this mantra. We have to do that also. The Vedic mantras should be chanted when the auspicious ceremonies are being celebrated. After having this qualified birth result, he arranged to have the Vedic birth ceremony, just like Jatakarma people do. So this Jatakarma will be done at the time of cutting the umbilical cord. So where the umbilical cord and the placenta connecting the umbilical cord is cut. So after the child is separated from the mother's womb, still some portion of the umbilical cord is left over, and that is cut during this Jatakarma period. At that time, this umbilical cord cut. But here, Nanda Maharaj was so excited that he did not see whether Krishna had this umbilical cord. Actually, there was the people, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, there was no umbilical cord. So by that time, by this, we should understand that the birth of a Supreme Personality of Godhead is not same as the birth of a ordinary people like us. Right? When we are born, we had umbilical cord and it was cut. But the Supreme Personality of Godhead was not born like that. It is not the fact that Vasudeva has cut the umbilical cord. So when umbilical cord is cut, that utsav has to be done. But Vasudeva did not do it. That means he did not cut the umbilical cord. So there are so many arguments which Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has proven his own bhashyas that, and leading to the point that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He's not different. He's a God himself. We should understand what is the difference between us and the God. So thus he performed the ceremony very gorgeously. According to the opinions of Krishna was actually born as a son of, because technically, if a person is doing the Jata Karma, he is the naturally the father. When this incident has happened because of the divine Leela of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we should understand that though Krishna appeared in the cell of Vasudeva, he is actually born out of Nandamaya. He is Nanda Nandana. First, he is the son of Nanda. And this is so many other intricacies are happening when Krishna is born, then Subhadra is born. That is why she is called the youngest child. Text number 3. Dehunaanam niyute prada viprevya samalankrita dinadaran sapta ratnaudaha shata kaumbaram paravartanan. Nanda Maharaj gave 2 million cows, completely decorated with cloth and jewels, in charity to the Brahmanas. He also gave them 7 hills of grain, covered with jewels, and with cloth decorated with golden embroidery. So it is a culture. When we do any ceremonies, we have to give something. So why we have to give something is discussed in the next few slokas. But we have to give in. So sometimes as per your nature, as per your capacity. It's not that Nanda Maharaj has given 2 million cows. You should give 2 million cows. Today we are not even able to give one cow also. That is our unfortunate situation. See, Nanda Maharaj is a Vaishya Varna. He is not a Kshatriya as well. He is a Vaishya. And he is holding 2 million cows he has donated. Means how many cows you would have? What is his capacity? You should understand. So he decorated with clothes and jewels. Not only that ordinary cow, he has given the clothes and jewels to charity. So whenever we do auspicious things, we have to do charity. That's why it is said a program, a devotional program is incomplete without distributing the prasadam. So whatever prasadam can be in the form of eatable, in the form of eating things. What prasad is a leftover thing offered to the Supreme Lord Krishna. Sometimes we have Sheshavastras. These are all prasada. So whatever we are today in the what we having is a prasad of Krishna. Yad karosi, yad asnasi, yad jihosi, tadasana. So one who is a devotee, trying to be a devotee, should offer everything as a service, as a sacrifice to Krishna, isn't it? So whatever is left out is a prasada. So that too should be given as charity to all the people who are coming there. So there was this was the tradition which was followed. Unfortunately, this has become into the catering, all this business. So whenever some event is happening, we order some catering. Even people are going to such an extent that in that auspicious things they are serving non-vegetarian food, which should not naturally happen. We should distribute prasada, not non-vegetarian food. But ultimately, what has happened? The main event has gone into a toss. Only people are focusing on how much food they have kept. This has become a called as a pride of a person. It's not the event which is being happening. What kind of food? 200 rupees per plate, 500 rupees per plate, 2000 rupees per plate. Even small drona is also sufficient. So whenever we are doing a spiritual event, the small thing also can be given. So if you see Srila Prabhupada, when he first went into the Bauri, he did not have anything. He did not know what stores to do, what where to take. So some the devotees who are very new used to bring fruits for him, and that fruits he used to offer and he used to cut small pieces and give it to the people. So even the cut fruit is what is be given. So what that is the minimum thing. So this is what we are as a representative of Nanda Maharaj, we should be doing. Text number 4. कालेन स्नान सौचर्यं संस्कारस्तपस्येजया शुद्ध्यन्ति दानैः सन्तुष्ट्या द्रवणे आत्मना विद्यया. Translation. O King, by passing of the time, land and other material possessions are purified. By bathing, the body is purified. And by being cleansed, unclean things are purified. By purificatory ceremonies, birth is purified. By austerity, the senses are purified. And by worship, the charity offered to the Brahmanas, material possessions are purified. By satisfaction, the mind is purified. And by self realization or Krishna consciousness, the soul is purified. So we should be, say, Nanda Maharaj has purified. How can we purify? Different ways of purifying different things. Not everything can be purified in the same way. So here we can clearly see by the passing of the time, land and particles are purified. Bathing the body, like a body or the dresses, all those things get purified by cleaning the unclean things, the private parts or house we all clean. Sometimes many people you see in the time of Diwali, especially North Indians in the time of Diwali, and many South Indians and different pujas, they do complete cleaning of the house, right? Have you observed that? So complete house cleaning of the house is done. By this way, the cleaning of unclean things can be taken care. Vedic ceremonies, the samskaras purify one's birth. There are 12 samskaras that we have to follow, starting from the Garbhadana samskara to Antyeshti samskara. There are 12 samskaras that are these 12 samskaras purify one's birth. Tapasya or austerities purify the senses. People say, how can I control the sense? My sense. Your sense, you should not. Philosophy says, any spiritual philosophy says, you have to regulate your senses. Means you have to purify your senses with tapasya. Suppose you are, because you have some disease and you are asked not to eat certain kind of food. So you have to natural, and that food is very dear to you. You like that dish very much, very dearly. Then what will you do? If you eat it, your disease get aggravated. You are not supposed to eat. You have to naturally control your senses. This is a tapasya, isn't it? Today, restricting on certain kind of food is very austerity. Now, if you ask people, you don't eat an onion and garlic. It's a very big austerity for them. How can you say that I should not eat onion and garlic? Without onion and garlic, I cannot. There are people who say that. How are you doing the food dishes without an onion garlic? He says tapasya for eating certain kind of food. So you have to do some kind of austerities. The austerity for each is the chanting of the holy names, speaking about Sri Krishna, talking to the devotees in a devotional way. These are all austerity. Even Srimad Bhagavad Gita, it says, isn't it? Anudvekara kara vakyam satyam priyamidam. So all this quality is the qualities of the speech, and this is the austerity of the speech. Anudvekara kara vakyam satyam priyam hitam cha. So not only the first is the truth. The first is anudvekara vakara vakyam. So you should not talk in such a way that the other people are agitated. And second is a satyam. You have to see, you have to tell the truth according to the time, place, and circumstances. The ultimate truth we have to tell is that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. The third next is the worship and the sacrifices. Purify the Brahmanas. So not only a caste Brahmana, so devotee is also a Brahmana. A Vaishnava is also a Brahmana by default. So he has to do certain kind of worship. The deity worship, there are kind of sacrifices. So you see so many devotees in our satsang, they're conducting nice Ratha Yatras, nice community programs. Isn't it a sacrifice? They are sacrificing their strength, their time, everything in the further propagation of the holy name of the Krishna. It's a sacrifice. So the ultimate worship is a deity worship of Krishna. The ultimate sacrifice is to propagate the holy name of the Lord Sri Krishna. The charity purifies the wealth. You give some wealth, the charity. So Radha is coming, we see the message, right? So some amount is being donated for the conduction of the Radha. So for central maintenance, we are giving some charity. So these are all purifies your wealth. Self-realization, so satisfaction purifies the mind. How can I be satisfied in the mind? How can I purify mind? One who is satisfied in whatever he has. And ultimately, it is a self-realization or Krishna consciousness that purifies. Actually, the soul is very pure, but it is contaminated by the association of this material world. The purification means detach the soul from this material conditionings. So we say what is the purpose here? These are the Sastric injunctions concerning how one can purify everything according to the Vedic civilization. Unless purified, anything we use will infect us with contamination. If it is not purified, it is a contamination. If you are not donating the money, your money is a contaminated money. You do not know how that money has come. Is it coming from a person who is eating non-veg? If you see the in one of the Bhagavatam sessions, so all the persons who are involved in the propagation of this meat eating, right from starting to all these things, is infected by this sin of meat eating. If we take that money, naturally we are also being infected by that. So contaminated in the COVID time, what we did, whenever we brought any vegetable from outside, we used to keep it aside, clean it with nicely clean it. Then when it is purified, we started cooking it. So we do not know where it is coming from. So in India, 5,000 years ago, even in the villages such as the Nanda Maharaj, people knew to purify things, and thus they enjoyed even material life without contamination. So if we eat outside food, you don't know how much hygienic it is. So if you see 99% of the hotels in Telangana, especially in Hyderabad, are completely contaminated with unquality food. Next number 5. The Brahmanas recited auspicious Vedic hymns, which purified the environment by their vibration. The experts in the reciting old histories like the Puranas, the experts in reciting the histories of the royal families, and general reciters are all chanted, while singers sang, and many kinds of musical instruments like venis, dundubis played in the men. So we have to also include the Vedic mantras as a part of the ritual, and most importantly, this Hare Krishna Kirtan should go into in our day-to-day lives in our houses. Deity worship should happen. All these are all auspicious Vedic mantras. The morning arati which we do is a Vedic mantra. It has auspiciousness. The Gaura arati is auspicious. So not only auspicious is a divine thing. Text number 6. Rajapura, the residence of Nanda Maharaj, was fully decorated with varieties of festoons and plants, and in different places gates were made with varieties of flower garlands, pieces of cloth, and mango leaves. The courtyards, the gate near the roads, and everything within the rooms of the houses were perfectly swept and washed with water. So this is how we have to do Nandotsav, Janmashtami, or in fact any celebration which we are doing in our house or in the center. Completely clean that entire thing, decorated with the nice garlands in an attractive way till the pathway till the and where the all the guests are happening. Tie the mango leaves, all those things we have to. This is the way we have to decorate our houses. Text number 7. The cows, the bulls, and the calves were thoroughly smeared with a mixture of turmeric and oil, mixed with varieties of minerals. Their heads were bedecked with peacock feathers, and they were garlanded and covered with cloths and golden armor. So when earlier, before coming to Krishna consciousness, so when I used to, we all have watched the old movies, right? The very old and black and white movies, Telugu movies, if you see, there is at least one scene, most of the movies, there is one scene where the house had a cow and a calf. So what does the lady of the house is doing? So wakes up early, gets ready, cleans the house, comes out to the goshala, applies the turmeric to all places of the divine places of the cow and the calf, and take the blessing, and then actual morning rituals start. This was the thing which was earlier showing up even in the movies, right? So this is how we have to celebrate even every day. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has instructed in Bhagavad Gita 18.44. Krishi Go Rakshya Vanijyam Vaishya Karma Satvabhava. Farming, cow protection, and trade are qualities of the work for the Vaishyas. Nanda Maharaj belonged to the Vaishya community, the agriculturist community. How to protect the cows and how rich community was are explained in these verses. We can hardly imagine that cows, bulls, and calves could be cared for so nicely and decorated so well with cloths and valuable golden ornaments. How happy they were. As described elsewhere in the Bhagavatam during Maharaj's visitor time, the cows were so happy that they used to muddy the pasturing ground with milk. This is Indian civilization. Yet in the same place, India, Bharatvarsha, how much people are suffering by giving up the Vedic way of life and not understanding the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. This is what our Indian culture is. Culture is about Bhagavad Gita, spreading Bhagavad Gita, cow protection, cow preservation. So when the cow is happy, everything will get it nice, very nicely. Today, the most abused food is the milk. There is no abundance because India has become the one of the major, is a major number one exporter of the beef. What is our civilization and how we have become? We used to worship cows in this way, and now what are we doing? We are killing cows. We are the number one killer of the cows, and no wonder we are suffering in this. This Bharat Bhumi is a Veda Bhumi. whatever is done in this world, in this part of this land, it becomes 100 times more. In any part of the world, in India, it becomes 100 times. If you do the sin, it becomes 100 times sinful. Fortunately or unfortunately, India is surviving in a very different way. But no sooner we are going to suffer if it is continuing like this. Text number 8. O King Parikshit, cowherd men dressed very opulently with valuable ornaments and garments such as coats and turbans, decorated in this way and carrying various presentations in their hands, they approached the house of Nanda Maharaj. So when we consider the past condition of the agriculturist in the village, we can see how opulent he was. Simply because of agricultural produce and the protection of the cows, at the present, the however agriculture have been neglected and cow protection given up, the agriculturist is suffering pitiably and is dressed in a nearly torn clothes. This is the distinction between the India of history and the India of the present day. By the atrocious activities of Ugra Dharma, how we are killing the opportunity of human civilization. So, the growth of human civilization depends upon the agriculture and production of the cows. See, elsewhere in the Bhagavatam, it is mentioned, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that to survive, for us to survive, grains are sufficient and grains, ghee, cow products are sufficient, is mentioned. And people nowadays, if you tell this to the people outside, how can we survive on this? Is it possible if I eat only grains and cow milk? Is sufficient? If you mix with that, it is not possible today. Until and unless we create a Vedic society, in this at least some society in the Vedic which follows Vedic civilization, just like this, Andamara is doing. Cereals and grains are sufficient. Here is what is clearly is mentioned. Abundance of produce. This so abundance of produce that they have to give it out. They are not retaining, they are giving it out. So that's why when we see when Maharajas like Indradurga Maharaj and other Maharajas coming, if they say 50% of the Prabhupada's mission is left over. So what is the 50% of the Maharajas Prabhupada's mission is not only to establish the Bhagavad Dharma, it is also to establish Varnashrama Dharma or Vedic civilization, which is rooted around agriculture and our protection. When that is sufficient, there is opportunity to protect our human civilization. Text number 9. The gopis, wives of the cowherd men, were very pleased to hear that Mother Yashoda had given birth to a son, and began to decorate themselves very nicely with proper dresses, ornaments, black ointment for the eyes, and so ladies used to wear a nice opulent dresses. Even the kajal, all those things, they have decorated themselves for the pleasure of Krishna. It is not that we should not decorate. We should decorate ourselves. Even the male and the female has to decorate for the pleasure of Krishna. There is other institution where other institution and other people who don't decorate themselves, or there are people, materialistic people who decorate themselves for their own enjoyment. Both things are wrong. We have to decorate ourselves so that Krishna gets the pleasure. Their lotus-like eye faces, extraordinarily beautiful, being decorated with saffron and newly grown kumkuma. The wives of the cowherd men hurried to the house of Mother Yashoda with presentations in their hands. Because of the natural beauty, the wives had full hips and full breasts, which moved as they have had. So both kind of people, male and female, has equal kind of engagement in this participation. It's not that only men has the thing, only women are doing certain kind of thing. It's not gender inequality. It is like we in our management classes it is said a person should be deployed where he is fit. The right people at the right position. So Matajis are only are experts in certain area, then Prabhujis are an expert in a certain area. So we have to identify where a person is fully expertise and engage them in their respective expertise. This is what we can learn. The cowherd men and women in the villages lived a very natural life, and women developed a natural feminine beauty with full hips and breasts. Because women in modern civilization do not live naturally, their hips and breasts do not develop with it. this natural fullness. Because of artificial living, women have lost their natural beauty, although they claim to be independent and advanced in the material civilization. This description of the village woman gives a clear example of the contrast between natural life and artificial life of a condemned society, such as that of the Western countries, where topless, bottomless beauty may be easily purchased in clubs and shops and for public advertisements. The word Bali indicates that women were carrying gold coins, jeweled necklaces, nice cloths, newly grown grass, sandalwood pulp, flower garlands, and similar offerings of the plate made on the board. Such offerings are called Bali. This is what is called Bali, not the physical Bali. The words Swaritam Jagmuho indicates how happy the village women were to understand that Mother Yashoda had given birth to a son. Today, this is a direct blow on the modern civilization, right? It's a very direct blow by Srila Prabhupada is giving. So we are all thinking to become independent, and we are living in an artificial society. This is condemned naturally. There are certain products, if you see in the advertisement, you have to apply it on the hair, you apply it on the face. So all the food things we have to apply. There is a milk based shampoos, the food based shampoos. Food are to be taken inside. This is a natural process, but we are applying it outside. It's an unnatural way of doing it. So people are going for zero size, six packs, artificial way of doing things, isn't it? So it's a natural way of living. When we do have a healthy food and healthy mindset, naturally every body, whether it's a female or male, it is naturally beautiful, externally beautiful. The beauty lies in the glow coming out of the face. Because of applying some face pack or fresh cream oils, also you cannot become beautiful. Even in our, especially in Telugu people, we don't like the black skin. Somehow we don't like the black skin. We want fair skin. So even if you have a black skin, if your heart is purified, heart is good, the glow on the face naturally attacks. You see some people like that. Our Krishna is attractive. What is his color? It's black. So he is supreme thing, right? People visit Venkateswara Swami. What is his color? It's black. So if we associate with the devotees, if we associate with the supreme personality of Godhead, whatever your color is, you will become naturally beautiful. But so you see, in the modern civilization, whenever a marriage takes place, the bride brings the beautician. In olden days, you used to see the old photos which are there in our during our mother time. All the things we see, they were very few, only natural like powder or kajal being applied. But if you see today, the bridal makeups, you see it becomes entirely fake. If you see the face of the bride, it becomes very fake, not natural beauty. So whenever marriage happens, the natural beauty will automatically come. But these beauticians, what they do, they suppress the natural beauty and they increase the artificial beauty. This is what is happening. This is what is direct blow on the modern civilization. Text number 11. In the ears of the gopis were brilliantly polished jeweled earrings, and from their necks hung metal lockets. Their hands were decorated with bangles, their dresses were of very varied colors, and from their hair flowers fell onto the street like flowers. Thus, while going to the house of Maharaj Nanda, the gopis, their earrings, breasts, and garlands moving were brilliantly beautiful. The descriptions of the gopis who are going to the house of Nanda Maharaj to welcome Krishna is especially significant. The gopis were not ordinary women, but expansions of the Krishna's pleasure potency. Gopis are the expansions of the Krishna's potency. You have to understand this point. When Krishna is doing the Rasa Leela with the gopis, he is actually doing the Rasa Leela with himself. They are not extra people like a female and a male, isn't it? Did you see Krishna dancing with any other lady not from the gopi? Have you seen any lady with Krishna dancing as a Rasa Leela other than the gopi? No. People quote this Gopil Rasalila and say, I will also enjoy women like Krishna. These women are not ordinary women. They are expansion of the Supreme Lord. Just we have to convince this point. First of all, we have to get convinced that gopis are not ordinary people. Anandamaya Chinmaya Ananda Chinmaya Rasapati Pavita Peace Taver Seya Eva Nija Rupaya Rupatya Kalami Poloke Eva Nivasati Atilatmanam Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Chintamani Prakara Satmashu Kalpavriksha Lakshavadareshu Suraved Abhipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Sada Sambrama Sayevayamanam Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Krishna is always worshipped by the gopis wherever he goes. Therefore, Krishna is so vividly described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has also described Krishna in this way. Ramya Kachit Upasana Prajavado Varjena Yakalpita. All these gopis were going to offer Krishna their presentation because the gopis are eternal associates of the Lord. Now the gopis were more jubilant because the news of Krishna's appearance in text number 12. Offering blessings to the newborn child, Krishna, the wives and the daughters of the cowherd men said, May you become the king of Raja and long maintain all its inhabitants. They sprinkled a mixture of turmeric powder, oil, and water upon the birthless Supreme Lord and offered. Here you can see, birthless Supreme Lord. Krishna has no birth. He is birthless. But now that all the pervading unlimited Lord Krishna, the master of the cosmic manifestation, had arrived within the estate of Maharaj Nanda, various types of musical instruments resounded to celebrate the great festival. The Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita, Yada yada hi dharmasya glaneh bhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tadatmanam prajamyaham. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in the religious practice, O descendant of Bharata and predominant rise of religion, at that time I descend myself. Whenever Krishna comes once in a day of Brahma, he comes to the house of the Nanda Maharaj in Vrindavana. Krishna is the master of all creatures, Sarvaloka Maheshwar. Therefore, not only the neighborhood of the Nanda Maharaj estate, but all over the universe, in all over the universes, musical sounds celebrated, the auspicious day. This is how Janmashtami should be celebrated. People to nowadays has forgot how to celebrate Janmashtami. So wherever there is a decline in the religious principle like performance of Janmashtami, he comes and shows how to celebrate Janmashtami and Nandosava. Because of and he sends his secretary, his divine grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada and his representative to show us how can we celebrate the birth of in the gladness, the cowherd men enjoyed the great festival by splashing one another's body with a mixture of curd, condensed milk, butter, and water. They threw butter on one another and smeared it on one another's bodies. From this statement, we can understand that 5,000 years ago, not only was there enough milk, butter, and curd to eat, drink, and cook, but when there was a festival, it would be thrown about without restriction. There was no limit to how extensively milk, butter, and curd and other such products were used in the human society. Everyone had an ample stock. See how much opulent they are. If you purchase a butter right now, half kilo would have costed you 700 to 800 at least. Imagine what range of throwing will be, how many kilos will be. Can we afford it? We cannot do right. How opulent these people are. Text 15 and 16. So it was given my quota was given till 15. To logically complete, will complete till 18. 18 completes the right theme. That's all. So till 18, we can see Nanda Maharaj house Nanda Maharaj celebrates Krishna's appearance. So just I extend till two more slokas till 18 so that we can complete how Nanda Maharaj is celebrated. The great-minded Maharaj Nanda gave clothing, ornaments, and cows in charity to the cowherd men in order to please Lord Vishnu, and thus he improved the condition of his own son in all respects. He distributed charity to the Sutas, the Magadas, the Vandis, and the men of all other positions, according to their educational qualifications, and satisfied their everyone's purpose. Although it has become fashionable to speak Haridra Narayana, the word Vishnu's Aradhanarthaya does not mean that all people satisfied by Nanda Maharaj in a great ceremony were Vishnus. Doesn't mean all the people are Vishnus. They were not Daridra, nor were they Narayana. Rather, they were devotees of Narayana. They are not Narayanas, they are not Daridras, but they are rather they were devotees of Narayana, and by their educational qualification, they would satisfy Narayana. Therefore, satisfying them was an indirect way of satisfying Lord Vishnu. How can I satisfy Krishna? It is through the devotees. This is what is explained. Mad Bhakte Puja Vyadika Bhagavatam 11:19-21. So, by satisfying the devotee, we can satisfy Krishna. How can we satisfy Krishna? Parampara. By satisfying Prabhupada. By satisfying his disciples. Our Guru Maharaj. Not only them, the people who are propagating our Shiksha Gurus, devotees around us, they are all representatives of our Guru Maharaj. They are representatives of the Krishna. So live happily in the community of devotees. Serve the devotees around you. Doing that, you can satisfy Krishna. This is very simple. The word says, worshipping my devotees is better than worshipping me directly. Varnashrama system is entirely meant for Vishnu Aradhana, worship of the Lord Vishnu. Varnashramachavar Purushena Parakuman Vishnu Aradhate. The ultimate goal of life is to please Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Lord. The uncivilized man or a materialistic person, however, does not know the aim of life. Tate vidu swartha gatim hi. One's real self-interest lies in satisfying the Lord Vishnu, not satisfying Lord Vishnu, but instead attempting to become happy through the material existence. Ahir Artha Manina. So if you don't satisfy Vishnu and try to get happy, it is not possible. It is the wrong way for happiness. Because Vishnu is the root of everything. Vishnu is pleased, everyone is pleased. If in particular, one's children and family members become happy in all respects. Nanda Maharaj wanted to see his newborn child happy. That was his purpose. Therefore, he wanted to satisfy Lord Vishnu. To satisfy Lord Vishnu, it was necessary to satisfy his devotees, such as the learned Brahmanas, Magadas, and Sutras. Thus, in a roundabout way, ultimately it was Lord Vishnu who was satisfied. Here the Sutas indicate the, the Sutas means the one who propagates. Suta Maharshi. The Sutas means one who propagate the holy names of Lord Krishna are also called the Sutas. This is a profession. So the preachers could be also be had, taken care. The most fortunate Rohini, the mother of Baladeva, was honored by Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, and thus she also dressed gorgeously and decorated herself with a necklace and garland and on other ornaments. She was busy wandering here and there, and to receive the women who were arriving, who were guests at the festival. Purport. Rohini, another wife of Vasudeva, was also kept under the care of Nanda Maharaj with her son Baladeva. Because her husband was imprisoned by Kamsa, she was not very happy. But on the occasion of Krishna Janmashtami, Nandosava, when Nanda Maharaj gave dresses and ornaments to others, he also gave gorgeous ornaments and ornaments to Rohini so that she could take part in the festival. Thus, she was also busy receiving the women who were guests. Because of her good fortune in being able to raise Krishna and Balaram together, she is described as Mahabhaga. So, out of all the mothers, Rohini, Devaki, and Yashoda, Rohini Devi was the most fortunate because she raised both Balaram and Krishna. Balarama is her natural son, and Krishna was also attracted to Mother Rohini is here addressed as Mahabhaga because among all the wives of the Vasudeva, he alone attained the opportunity to see Krishna's childhood pastimes. He was the one who has witnessed every pastime of the Krishna. Yashoda Mai did not see, saw some things but heard some things. But Rohini was the one person who has witnessed everything. Now, because of the bliss of the celebrating Krishna's birth, she forgot her sorrow of the. And this one of the incidents I remember. I recently went to Udupi, Udupi Krishna, where how the Udupi idol has come, Udupi deity has come. It was Madhvacharya who has established this deity. You all know all the past tense. The deity is the natural representation of what is there in the Rohini's mind. So Rohini was asked, how did you enjoy, how did you see Krishna in the childhood? Rukmini Devi asks her. So she describes an entire beauty of Krishna which she released. And this form manifested as Udupi Sri Krishna. It was natural as very beautiful darshan to take. So it was very nice. The Aarti being performed by the Jiyas there. You cannot find any other beautiful picture, beautiful deity other than the Udupi Krishna. Because it is coming from the Mahabhaga Rohini Devi. Text number 18. O Maharaja Parikshit, the home of Nanda Maharaj is eternally the abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His transcendental qualities and is therefore always naturally endowed with opulence of the Almighty. At beginning from Lord Krishna's appearance, there it became the place for the pastimes of goddess of fortune. Purpose. As stated in the Brahma Samhita, Lakshmi Sahasa Sata Sambrahma Sevayamanam Govindam Adi Purisham Tamaham Bhajami. The god of Krishna is always served by hundreds and thousands of the goddess of fortune. Wherever Krishna hosts, the goddess of fortune naturally resides with him. The chief of the goddess of fortune is Srimati Radharani. Therefore, Krishna's appearance in the Lilananda of Raja indicated the chief goddess of fortune, Radharani, would also appear there, where we perform Radhastami. Our next Ashtami after Janmashtami is Radhastami. Nanda Maharaj's abode was already opulent, and since Krishna has appeared, it would be opulent for all non-residents. This is how Nandotsav was performed. How Nanda Maharaj was happy serving Krishna, serving his darling child Krishna and other devotees who have assembled over there. So in the later part of this chapter, we will see how meeting of Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva at Mathura happens. How Vasudeva was concerned about the safety of his child Krishna because all the ministers advised Nandamara as a all the Kamsa that in the last 10 days who are taken but should be killed in the protection of the protection of his child Krishna. Vasudeva asked Nanda Maharaj, please go back as early as possible and take care of your child Krishna. This is what we're going to see in the next sessions. Please start with joining. So this 10th canto is very much important, very much Saman Bonam, where we see the lot pastimes happening in the Vrindavan. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So in the interest of the time, I have read everything. So most of the time we is self-explanatory and we have to understand how we have to celebrate each event. Please excuse me if I have committed any mistake, any offense at your lotus feet. Only by serving you, I can serve my Guru Maharaj. I can serve the entire parampara. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hare. Any questions? You can open this forum. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji.
ఇది
Namaskaram.
మనకి అంటే వసుదేవ దేవకి వి నో దట్ దే ఆర్ అంటే వాళ్ళు పూర్వజన్మలు ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి వాళ్ళకి దే ఆస్క్డ్ ఫర్ కృష్ణ యాజ్ దేర్ సన్ ఆర్ విష్ణు యాజ్ దేర్ సన్, సో దే ఇట్లా ఇన్కార్నేట్. సో అదే విధంగా మనకి రోహిణి మాత గురించి ఏమైనా రిఫరెన్స్ ఉందా? హౌ హౌ ఫార్చునేట్ అండ్ హౌ వాట్ ఈస్ హర్ పాస్ట్ లైఫ్, హౌ షీ బోర్న్ విట్నెస్డ్ Krishna Balram, and she took the Balram has taken birth from her
So,
and all that. I have a reference on that.
so actually, I heard it, but I'm not completely aware of complete story of what is happening in that. But
Ah,
there was a mention somewhere in the Bhagavatam or about Roni only, but I'm not completely aware of it. If I find out, I'll let you know in the group what is about Roni.
Okay, Prabhuji.
I'm not
Just
100% sure.
and just now you mentioned the
Yes,
how
yes.
fortunate Rohini Mata, so that she has witnessed Balram the Leela was staying in the Vrindavan, and as well as the case she came to Mathura and everything. So that's why.
It's a
Okay, sir.
wonderful question. I'll let you know
So,
if I find out anything.
yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Wonderful class, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Anyone else? If there are no doubts, shall we wrap up?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Wonderful session. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for your association.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
Krishna.
kripa
Hare Krishna.
vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय। रामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।